So, everything rolling,
No.
check everything.
I'm rolling in the deep.
Yeah.
What does that even mean? What does rolling in the deep mean?
None of the lyrics. All the popular lyrics all got no meaning.
No, but I'm pretty sure there definitely is some sort of meaning. Just that you have to go Google everything.
You have to step in the shoes of a rock star. Maybe not rock, but
Rock.
Dwayne. Nice.
Nice. On the same
Just
wavelength,
Dwayne.
for sure.
Just the rock.
Dwayne, if you're out there,
Collab, please.
collab when? Our first guest will be Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
I think we will be.
What question would you ask him if you could interview?
I'll ask him if he desired to be an Asian. I think everybody secretly wants to. No. That's like
Do you want to be an Asian? Leave a comment down below.
And if you're one, open your eyes, please. Just start insulting your audience.
we are racially inclusive.
We are.
So now we're gonna insult every single.
Yeah, we're gonna discriminate all races.
Have to be equal, equality, true equality.
True equality is ill treatment towards all, regardless of anything.
We've made a severe and
Every episode starts with an apology. I'm
Nothing
sorry
we
you have to
say
see
is,
this.
Everything we say is satire for entertainment purposes. Yes.
I don't even know what does satire mean.
Oh, when you like, what day is it today? Oh, Saturday, right? Yeah. So you just sit on a tire. You sat. Tire.
What does Saturday have to do with?
I was just like sat.
Oh.
Yeah, I was.
It's a tire that has been sat on before.
Yeah, on Saturday.
Yeah.
Bring in the Saturday. Okay. Let's talk about problems.
Problems.
Life
What kind of problem?
problems.
Not problem between people. Got problem? not that. Talking about life problems, huh?
I mean, people problems are also life problems.
Mm.
So life just comes with problems and you have to deal with them.
Mm-hmm. So what's your take on having life problems?
What's my take on having life problems?
Like,
What do you mean by what's my take?
what's your attitude towards it? Welcome it? Are you grateful of it? Do you think that there needs to be a balance? Like what is your attitude on it? How do you react to life problems? I guess that's a better question.
You have to deal with it in the best possible way.
Deal with it.
Deal with it. That's the next Nike. Deal with it. Yes.
Nike.
Just do it and just deal with it.
Do it, then deal with it.
Do it, then yeah.
Okay, so deal with it.
You don't want to invite. I don't want to invite problems into my life. But
do we not want? Does problems equate to suffering?
Problems doesn't equate to suffering per se. I don't think. It's about how you deal with it. If you deal with it better, then there'll be less suffering.
So it's a non-negotiable. If you are living, you will have problems. Just what kind of problems?
I mean, not sure if the audience do we have problems? Does everyone have problems? Yeah, I think we do.
I think we have different type of problems. Some are the more macro, what are we doing with life kind of problems. What purpose do we have? Then there are the micro where they are like urgent problems, things that we need to solve, or things that we cannot avoid. And there are the avoidant problems where you can always just put it behind. Then the problem comes back to the macro one whereby, so if you avoid all these small little problems, then at the end of life, you have the problem of not actually achieving or not actually solving the problems that you needed to solve at that point of life. So it's like different type of problems.
Yeah. So how do people solve their problems better? That's a question. What sort of approach can they take?
When it comes to problem solving, first, you need to practice creativity in terms of we all have constraints, like situations, like resources that we really have access to. Then it's about the creative part is when you know how to work around those. So you know how to get what you want with the things that you are with the limiting factors in place. So I think being creative is one of the important things, because if not, then if you're a victim, it's easy to just blame it on the limiting factors instead of working around it or like thinking out of the box. A lot of problems, they can be solved. I think most problems can be solved.
Yeah.
But a lot of people think that some problems you just have to wait.
Sometimes you do have to, I guess, sit on a problem. Like Einstein has this quote, it's not that I'm a genius or intelligent or something. It's just that I sit with problems longer. So sometimes looking at every problem as if it is something that you can solve like instantly, I guess that's not really a good way to look at it.
But isn't sitting on a problem like part of the solution?
Yeah, some problems require time.
You think that it will be solved, then be okay with just not be okay with just sitting with the problem.
Sometimes,
yeah.
But other times, you
need to recognize whether that is the right move.
Sometimes it is more about education. So if you can solve the problem through learning and leveling yourself up, because what the level of thinking that got you into that problem. Okay, this is also another Albert Einstein quote. That will not help you get out of the problem, like solve the problem. So you need to increase your level of thinking. You need to, your previous education in general, your previous, like the knowledge that you got you into the problem.
So it's like knowing the different layers of why that problem exists. So if you don't have a close knit of masculine friends to really do a reality check with, then what is the problem? Or is it because you dedicate more time into this, and why is that another problem? Then you keep delving into the deeper whys. And then you'll figure out what you can work on. And if you really, sometimes you'll just realize that at the deepest why that you can come up with, you're just limited by yourself and you just need time. Then that is when you sit on it. I think that is how you can dissect it. Just finding out the why of the problems. So why does
the cause?
The core causes.
Everything Newton's third law. Very scientific this episode, but for everything there is a cause and effect.
This the universe we are born into, that we exist in. This plane of existence is dictated by cause and effect. I'm actually quite surprised that some people actually don't believe in cause and effect. They believe that some causes have no effect. Like, that just blows my mind. Like, can't you just see the link?
It is just everything you just go backwards. Like then you can keep going all the way until
But some people just don't believe it. Like, they do something bad and they think that they won't ever come back to you. Like, if you believe in cause and effect, then you believe that.
It's not really. I don't know if it's belief in cause and effect, because it is science, which is what separating truth from falsehood. So like science is like proven sort of proven fact.
So it's reality. Not the belief in it, but maybe the belief that consequences can be avoided, I guess. Like, some people just don't think that being lazy for the short term has anything, or like doing one small bad deed to someone has any big consequence at all.
Your actions have consequences. Like, that's something that sooner or later you need to wake up and realize. Everyone needs to. If not, you're just going about life recklessly, which is bad.
And sometimes the consequence is so invisible to you that when it hits you, you won't even think that it's caused by the initial cause. You might just start blaming third party factors or like third party influences in your life. So you start to develop the victim mentality. It's when you start doing the small little things that does not seem consequential, but it just hits you all together at once. And that is when you can either admit it, face the problem, and accept it and change, or you can just outsource, like just relieve the pain by saying that it's not because of you.
Giving up the responsibility, like not taking it.
Yeah. So for instance, just now when I talk about like not having close group of friends that are like maybe competent, maybe are on the same wavelength as you, then
there's no one to hold you accountable for your actions.
So just your small little attitudes towards your current friends, you think that you take advantage of them maybe once or twice, maybe you're a bit cheapskate, or you're not generous with your attention or whatever, you don't care as much for them. Then slowly when you don't have friends, then you think that it's everyone else's problem. Not everyone don't like me, not because of me. I shouldn't change who I am for everyone. Then that is when the problem hits you, and whether you accept to change or you can continue to be the victim. I guess it's like how I look at the cause and effect in this scenario. But a lot of people it miss the link of like why life happens to them instead of what they can do to change their current state.
You take responsibility for your life. That's the idea I got from Jordan Peterson.
So cause and effect and problems. I got
problems. Okay. So I had like stuff prepared, but my tablet just died. Perfect, amazing timing.
Rest in peace.
So I'm gonna go off, I guess, script or tangent. Just go raw.
Yeah. So
unprepared.
Strap yourself up.
Yeah, I will not be very
coherent. Organized.
Organized, yeah. It will not be very organized. It will just be more.
So this will be a challenge for you to follow along.
Are you sure?
Accepted.
Are you saying that my speech is so? I've been personally attacked today. Okay.
No, we are just preparing them.
Yes.
To be able to.
Okay. Problems. So Pareto's principle.
What is Pareto principle?
Okay. So it's more widely known as the 80-20 rule. So you can put in, when dealing with problems, there is like a 20% of effort that you can put in to get like 80% of the results.
So it links to cause and effect.
It's the idea of leverage, trying to do the more impactful things.
And the 80-20 is a natural phenomenon. It's not really a rule that people made up. It's not something created by anyone. It's what we observe in universe, in space, on Earth, in anything that got a cause and effect relationship. So it's been a while since I read the 80-20 book. So, like, to know that there's such phenomenon that naturally occur, there are ways to capitalize on that. There are ways to leverage using the natural laws of like how you use of like leverages lah. So, what are some, like, how do you explain to somebody that do not know how to utilize 80-20 to their advantage, like the basic things that they can do? How do you explain the process?
It is about prioritizing. Finding what's the concept of leverage in general? It is a lever. This is physics lesson. Yeah. then there's like a pivot, right? The point. Then you want to shorten it so that you just need to push a bit, and this whole big portion, okay, my mic, will go up, basically. So it's skewing it towards that side so that you can just put in a bit of effort and So prioritizing and planning. What's the quote by Abraham Lincoln? Give me 7 hours to cut down a tree and I will spend the first 6 sharpening the axe. And yeah, really in life, you do realize that spending just like 1 or 2 minutes, every minute that you spend planning can save you like 10 minutes of time, in a sense. So it is not rushing to do the work. There's, work hard or work smart. So it is working more smart. You work smart first, then you work hard. Maybe.
And links back to, it just made me think that in the previous few episodes, we talked about knowing what you want. That is part of leverage. What is the 80-20? What's the 20% that gives you 80% of a fulfilling life is knowing what you want so that you can work towards those things that you really want. So you don't waste time. So that you don't fill your life with things that are not full to you. I guess after knowing the concept of leverage, and you talk about finding out what are the things that has that gives you leverage. How do you even find out? What is the process like of knowing?
Depends on what context you are looking at. So more general, like day-to-day life. Day-to-day, what are some day-to-day problems that people might have?
I mean, I don't think there is a one-size-fits-all answer again for this, like how do you find out the leverage. But one example that I came across while reading the book 80-20 Sales and Marketing was that they give a story of there's this magician that he went to Vegas to gamble, and basically there's somebody, like he has a novice following him to learn from him, like a mentee, and he want to showcase that the 80-20 of who are the ones that you should be careful, who are the ones that will be aware of what you're doing and got tricks up their sleeve. Basically, who are the other like musicians or all the scam artists around. So what they do is he took out a shotgun of like this size and he wrapped the shotgun. Then probably that sound is only for people that are aware of like certain tricks, like the magicians or basically the people that are more advanced or they are on the same wavelength as them. Then those that are not, they are completely oblivious, they are drunk out of their mind, they won't notice it. So it's that racking of the shotgun is a way to find out who are the 20% that they have to be careful of, and who are the 80% of the people that they have an advantage over.
So it's preparation.
So it's like trying to get feedback through preparation. Racking the racking of the shotgun is the action that is the most effective way of finding out whether there are leverage to be had, like the 80-20, who are the 80, who are the 20, is the way of differentiating. The chapter is called Racking the Shotgun. That's why it's so memorable. The story is quite interesting. And so in many situations, there are ways you can rack the shotgun, and in specific day-to-day, there are no examples that we can give that can really showcase this, but can be creative about it.
Try to look in your own life. Are there any problems you're facing right now?
It goes back to the problem thing.
Then identifying problems.
Then when you identify it, you accept it, then you find out what are the high leverage things that you can use.
For investment talk, financial, there is return on investment. That's like the term that gets thrown around a lot. But you want to find high ROI solutions to problems.
It's like the 6 buckets, of the Diary of a CEO book that they talk about. So
75?
Oh yeah, 5 buckets. I just invited another one. Oh no.
You're gonna kick the other bucket.
Kick the bucket. The last one you have to kick it.
Yeah. Explain to them what.
So there are 5 buckets in your life that you have to fill before you can move on to helping others. So it's like, imagine your mental bandwidth, your efforts, your recovery time, your time and effort basically. It's like water, and you have to fill one bucket after the other. So there are 5 buckets that you should and you must fill in order to have high ROI. So the first bucket is your knowledge, and the second bucket is your skill.
Mm-hmm. And those are the 2 unspillable buckets, I think.
It's unspillable and there's high return, because over the course of your whole life, by filling these 2 buckets as much as you can, that will allow you to have more to fill for the other buckets.
And it is like local, so like you have control over it. Like if you water those 2 buckets more, then from those 2 it will overflow into the next 3 buckets, which are I think it's what network, reputation, and something. That's what I can remember.
I know there's one. Reputation is second to last, I think.
Yeah.
The last one is reputation.
Okay.
I know network and resources.
Resources is the last one.
Is it the last one? No,
it
it's
doesn't
the second last one. Reputation is the
I
last
don't think
one.
it matters. I don't think it matters. But yeah.
Yeah, then some people just try to get the reputation first. They try to get famous. They try to go on TikTok and like do random stuff without skill, without knowledge.
Yeah, but if you're not reputable, then who there's no trust though. Like
yeah. So it goes by knowledge, skill, network. After network is resources. Then the last one is reputation. So don't try to skip buckets, because it'll come back and bite you in the backside, basically. If you try to focus on resources without having knowledge and skill, that's when you start taking the cheap route that could be very, very risky, that can ruin everything, that maybe breeds complacency, that in the end you're not able to learn the knowledge and skills required to pass on to the future generations. So you are basically causing more harm to your bloodline. So
your
focus on
the skills, your skills and your knowledge. Those are the foundation of you as a person.
Yeah, and according to the book, skills are just applied knowledge. Knowledge you learn through books, learn through content, learn through talking to people, learn through observing successful people. Like what we talked about in the previous episodes, learning. After you learn, you have to apply it and practice it. And that's how you create the skill, the crafts. If you imagine a craftsman, you have to learn theory and you have to actually do the work and practice, put in the repetitions. Yes.
Repetition.
Yeah. So focus on these 2. Then after you fill your buckets to the max, don't need to the max, I guess.
Is there ever a max? I don't think so.
Okay, I think it's like a voidless, what's it called? Like a bottomless buckets that we are talking about. But you are able to fill as much as you can. And after you reach a certain point, then you realize that with your buckets filled, like you have good reputation, you have good resources, you're not starving, you have good network of people to support you to help others, then you have skill and knowledge to spread. That's when you can more effectively help other people. Then you can start filling other people's bucket or people you care about. Or it can even be the world if you care about just general humanity.
There is the idea that, growth, you need to first work on personal growth, then it will overflow into your life, with whether it's with people, with your work, your business, or with the world in general. So trying to focus on an impact without first focusing on your own personal growth is like, I heard this from a podcast like all the way back last year, but the guy said it's like walking backwards, which is sort of redundant because walking backwards is actually good for your knee health, mobility and all that, but he said it doesn't make sense. But you want to focus on the self, because if you focus on yourself and you grow and you learn, you get skills, knowledge, then everything else in your life should improve.
you raise everything together when you raise the one that is the highest leverage. There's the 20% that improves the 80% in your life. And when it comes to that, what we talk about, like the 5 buckets, it may sound daunting, like got a lot of things to do. To some people that now they think that they are a degen, they are not focusing on anything important, they have no purpose, no clear purpose, they don't know how to get it. That sounds daunting, right? But it's just about, now you know that you can focus on knowledge and skills. Then it's just about along the way try to
taking the next step.
Yeah, the next step is just get the knowledge first. Then the skill, try to push yourself to do a bit every day.
Focus on the local before you try to impact the global.
Always start with the basic blocks, the basic building blocks, the foundation.
You are your foundation in a sense, because you as a whole, you are how you interact with the world.
And what advice would you give to somebody that they know they need to focus on foundation, but they're afraid that if they focus on the wrong thing and by not knowing what they want, they might be wasting time? Do you have any advice for those people? Like, let's say they want to learn marketing as a foundation, but like they think that it might be a wasted time if they go into marketing, learn about marketing, but in the end they want to go in a totally opposite direction.
Is there such a thing as like wasting time? Definitely there may be, but it always is. If you want to try it out, it could be worth trying out. The 2 types of decisions, also an idea from the Diary of CEO book. The book is really good. 33 laws of business and life, right?
Yeah.
So type 1 decisions are they the irreversible ones, or?
I can literally search out a definition and read it out. Type 1 decisions. These are irreversible decisions that cannot be changed once executed. Therefore, they require careful thought. Type 2 decisions. These are reversible decisions. Even after executing them, you can change them if you like.
So, type 1 decisions. Like, the 3 most important things you have to decide in your life are what you do, your work, who you are with, your relationship partner, and then where you live. Those are like the 3 largest sort of things. So where you are, who you're with, and what you're doing. Yes.
Okay. So these are the high leverage things that you have to ponder over, spend more time. Because they are the type 1 decision.
Yeah, they are like the things you need to spend the most time thinking about and deciding on. Yeah. Because you cannot reverse them. They are the big decisions.
Okay.
And also, like, do you want to go to university or take a very, I don't know, have a very public job like this?
I guess to build onto that and to answer my own kind of question is that there is actually nothing that truly wastes time if you spread things out, put things in a longer time horizon. It's just whether with the things that you already spend time and effort on, you have to spend a bit more time and effort on high leverage tasks like reframing in order to make all these past experiences work. Like whether you can, like if you learn marketing, let's say you had a bad X, how you reframe that is maybe for the marketing thing, you can look at the things that you learn and try to apply it into the new things. Although it's totally opposite direction, there are still overlaps that you can come up with. Maybe that's how, like, maybe that forces you to be more creative with your skill set and what you want to do. Then the next thing is that when it comes to, you had a very bad X, you have a negative experience with your past partners, can use that and reframe and learn from it. And maybe from the little insights that you have, you can use that to teach others. You can use it to prevent you can observe patterns whereby next time you're able to easily identify bad actors in your life, or even in your kid's life.
Spotting patterns that can, if you spot, so if you spot it in the future, you can not make the same mistake. Type 2 decision. So if for the marketing thing, if it is like reversible, then just make them as much as possible. The failure rate, I think that's also another concept. If you do want to go into it, but you want to be making mistakes. If you're not failing, then I think Ray Dalio has a quote: if you're not failing, that means you're not pushing yourself or something. You're not learning. If your beliefs are still the same as they were like a year ago, you're probably not growing. And why is it important to grow? Because your rate of self-evolution, your growth is something that you should try to prioritize.
But why? You ask why do we have to grow?
Because as human beings living, what does living mean? It means to experience and to live more, you need to grow.
And we all seek progress in one form or the other. So why not just grow your authentic self to be better? Some people just but some people seek growth in video games, in binge watching shows. They want to complete that. They want to progress in the episodes. They want to progress in the game in terms of skills in a game. So there are ways that all humans.
But it is like, so games, infinite games, and finite games. So there are everything you do is sort of, it can be something that is meaningful, so it helps you to grow, or it can be something that doesn't help you to grow. So there are meaningless games.
Meaningless games.
So we talked about the future, right? Having where you live, who you are with, and your work, your relationships, and your
But are they really irreversible? Technically, it just takes more, right? It's harder to recover those time, I guess.
I mean, those are like bigger decisions.
Yeah, those are big decisions.
I mean, infinite game theory. So, infinite games, they are games that run forever. So, there is no like set rules or anything. It's just, the point of the game is to keep playing the game. So, marriage, health, business. The point is to stay married, stay healthy, stay in business, not, lose. So losing is just quitting the game.
Okay, then
so
that makes sense. Irreversible in the sense that if you reverse it, the only way is to stop playing the game. There's no way to get a new partner whilst like not ending the marriage or something like that.
But more finite games are short term, more like video games. Then there's status games, all that stuff like that.
But technically, these can be infinite games if you look at it in the sense that they're always a new finite game that you seek. So it's still progress. It's just a different way. It
is kind of like
infinite way of achieving
it's
finite things.
Jumping from one finite game to another. So what are finite games? They are just things, games with set rules. So like there's a clear goal and you win. Like you can win at it. But jumping from one finite game to another, to me that seems not really, like you don't make progress in life. Because everything compounds, right? But if you keep jumping from one ship to another, you will never actually make any large impact on the things that matter.
But if you already dedicated a lot of time in jumping from finite to another finite game, there are ways to reframe it. As always, it's a mistake, but you do have to spend more time and effort into learning from it.
I mean, personally, I was a video gamer. I played a lot of games in my past.
Like what? What games you spend the most time in?
Minecraft, Valorant, Brawl Stars, I don't know. Like, yeah. A few games I dabbled in.
I do play a lot of Minecraft, Valorant. For me, it's Clash Royale or all these games. Yeah. And those are made out of mini finite games that they are like a mixture of finite and infinite games, I guess. Like the game itself is made out of finite little games. But if you look at the totality, it's about the skills you need to win in those finite games. Those are the infinite games. Like you can keep improving. And there are always competition that rises.
I think it's not really like as a whole, you can't really call it an infinite game, but you can take like the mindsets, the game theory, like learning how you approach a game is how you do one thing is how you do everything else. In a sense. So like the switch for me, and I think for you also, for most people, for most like entrepreneurs, is that they take their approach with games. Like if they grind a lot or if they just put in effort trying to level up everything, they take that but they apply it to their real life and their business and everything.
Like finding out the 80-20 or what helped them improve dramatically in the games and apply it into whatever venture that is more fulfilling for them right now.
Most people either have like the gym, fitness, they just grind that or they have a business.
Like for instance, I was somebody that liked to watch pro guides, Valorant, before I like learning about game strategies, learning about how to aim better, how to improve skills, going into aim labs, like practice what kind of flicks, what kind of mouse grip that you should use for what kind of scenario, what kind of weapon if you main which character. And that translates well in a sense that I know that I have to learn from sources that are more reliable and that actually study like the sweet science of things that make you better at the thing, like the skills. Those are the theory, and I have to apply before it can be it can be a skill, because knowing it doesn't really do much. Knowing that you have to you have to practice your aim doesn't actually improve your aim. You actually have to go in and do the work. So that can be applied into, let's say, podcasting right now, whereby you do need a bit of reference from people better than you, how to be a better speaker, what to improve on, how to be authentic, what are the 80-20, figure out what are the important things, what are the high leverage tasks you need to do in order to be a better podcaster, in order for our audience to receive more. Then go and work, then go and put in the repetitions. Yeah, I guess this is how game theory is being transferred. And who cares if it's finite or infinite? You can argue it at the end of the day, as long as it serves you. And infinite games doesn't necessarily just mean that it's a game worth playing, right? There can be infinite,
there's the
worthless.
Alex Hormozy, literally, his quote is what? All the games worth playing in life are infinite games.
But not all infinite games are worth playing.
I mean, you can't expect to go play everything.
Yeah.
But the main infinite games are really fitness, staying fit or healthy, then staying in business and staying married. Yeah. But yeah, you were talking about aim training, all that stuff. I also did that a lot. Yeah. So it is really taking that, when I made the switch from playing video games to just life or business, I realized how much like overlap there is. So if you are a gamer, there is a lot of, once you make the switch, it's making that jump from finite. So games, most of the time, you're not, unless you're a professional gamer, which if that's your calling, go for it. But if you're not, then I don't think it's producing much. But if you were to swap the vessel through which that you apply because you have built up skills from games. So applying it,
Now you can type faster, right?
Oh.
Because as a result of practicing aim typing, as a result of games.
Aim typing.
Aim typing.
Touch typing. But
touch typing.
Is like, there's like stuff in my free time I've done a lot of, which is touch typing. So typing, then aiming, aim training. Yeah.
Does come back to serve to some extent. Just that it might not be high leverage.
Reflexes, if you want to talk about,
if you have the full knowledge of the universe, you wouldn't do the same task again. Just that if you reframe and transfer the skills, it's quite useful. Like for like games. If you want to be good at business, the higher leverage task to do if you were to go back time is to learn about business, right? Instead of game theory.
I mean, okay, not everyone wants to start a business, which is perfectly normal.
So it's just about using what you have, like what you talk about and what Alex Hormozy always talk about. Use what you have.
Learning. Talking about learning. What is learning? Learning is having the same circumstance and then having a different behavior. So changing your behavior. That is what Alex Hormozy, he has like practical definitions for words. So if I were to, now I'll use this hypothetical example where I slap Cal. If I were to slap him once and he doesn't, dodge, weave, then I've slapped him. But then if I try to slap him again and he still doesn't move out of the way, even though he can clearly see me like that means he hasn't learned. So his behavior hasn't changed. So same circumstance, different behavior. So that is what learning is. So if you want to shortcut it, learning is just changing your behavior. It is changing your behavior once you have... What's in between learning and action? There is the reaction. And you want that reaction to be based off of education.
Can you say that reaction is just what decision you make in order to...
It's the choice.
It's the choice. Okay.
But you want all your actions to be sort of based off of education.
So if you really...
Or truth.
If you dial it back a bit, knowing that your choice is the one that matters in order to learn, then choosing who you learn from or choosing what to learn, that is essentially one of the more important things. The higher leverage, it's like the 20% of the 20% of the... like you can keep going back. The more high leverage tasks that you can do.
But you really want to... So how do you find the right person or right source to learn from? It really is your learning process. There are many ways to learn. So what you want to do is learn from others and learn from yourself. Learn about the world around you and learn about yourself.
And I mean, there is some luck involved, trial and error. Maybe the first thing that you try, the first learning process that you adopt before you find out whether it works for you, that could be... When you first start, there's some hints of RNG, randomness to it. Trying to know yourself as much as possible, then try to make, once you get to the 51% of certainty that this could be good for you, then make the decision. Go and action it. Go and execute and try out whether...
You need a balance of learning and then application. You cannot just learn, but then never put it into practice. But you also cannot just keep mindlessly doing something without learning.
But what about mindlessly learning? It doesn't serve you, but you just keep using the same method.
That's the first example. Yeah. So keep learning and then not doing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are many ways to learn. Life, reading, writing. Reading, so listening. How do people choose books to read?
How do people choose books? For me, at first, it's just whichever book that catch my attention. Then second is search. I'll always go on the search engine or YouTubers that I watch, that I have the life that I think I want at the point of time, and based off their book recommendations, I'll choose books. I'll select books. How about you?
Same. Most of it is just recommendations. I do find there are reading lists you can find from people online. And I refer to them, I look for titles or descriptions that I'm interested in. Yeah. Or just books that people give me. You know?
So I guess the high leverage task in this scenario of choosing books that you should read is find out who are the people that recommend those books also. You will figure out whether those have the life that you want.
But I think there are a few like books that are generally quite like baseline good. I don't know. You want to recommend any or no?
I'm good. You can recommend some of yours.
The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. That's a really good like foundation. That was one of the first books I read. So I've been talking about like finding the right influencers, choosing them wisely. Yeah, because I listened to that book first and foremost, like very early on in my self-growth journey. I think that allowed me to have like a good judge of character. So I managed to find a lot of people who are highly effective people, and it has led me to where I am today.
So you install the base frame that dictates other way of processing information. So like the base frame that affects the next frame. Like for example,
the foundation is the most important.
If you want to improve on skill A, you actually rely on like skill B, then or like the other way around. So build the frame that through using books like this that serves you, that's evergreen, that can be applied into other philosophies, other theories, other self-improvement rules and principles. Knowing the base, building on the foundation, that's the most important thing. That's the one that's a 20%.
If you're getting into reading like now, it is really, you want to find the right books, and especially in the beginning. The first few books I read were definitely affected how I am now.
For me, one of the first few books I read was Essentialism, but I wouldn't recommend that for a starter. I would recommend 7 Habits also for a starter to start.
Okay, but why wouldn't you recommend it to a beginner?
Depending on where the beginning point is. If you are somebody that already been quite competent in life in general, and you're beginning to put in more effort, then okay. But if you are just, your start point, your beginning is like, it's like my rock bottom, and I am like basically not being controlled, like mind controlled by video games, by pornography, by just things that are easy to do and gives you a lot of dopamine, then you need to learn the basic instead of, because essentialism is something that is a philosophy, a principle for, I think, for more advanced people. Generally, that's my belief. Like knowing what to focus on requires you to be already doing some of the right things. Then you can focus on the 1 or 2 things. But essentialism ties back into 80-20 too.
I think since we are on the topic, I was actually planning to talk about essentialism too. So what is essentialism? It is can be summarized as what? The disciplined pursuit of less. So the main idea is finding out the vital few and then doing them over the trivial many. What is the vital few? Do you want to try to explain?
I think you're better off actually.
The vital few is basically what is truly important. So we talked about this for the past few episodes, but identifying what is truly important. So what matters in your life? So infinite games are like I talked about just now, stuff like your partner, and then stuff like finding a partner, and what you want to do with your life, your purpose. Like those are things that are really important. Your work is important in life. So that is and your health also. Without your health, you have nothing else. Right?
These 3 things literally made up of the definition of like your well-being. How well you are being.
Health and work. Purpose.
How you show into this world, basically. Whether you're a useless piece of crap or you are over there serving others, making the world a better place, putting in work to make a positive impact. That is one of the, I guess, defining factor of of well-being. Yeah. So
those are the three essential few,
uh-huh.
vital few, and then everything else is the trivial mania. So like what, scrolling on your phone, playing video games that will not affect your future like in a positive much. Yeah. So it is about cutting out the trivial many as much as possible and focusing on the vital few. Yeah.
And for some people, this doesn't mean that for everyone you should just focus on these three. There are still other things that are important but less so of these three. So you can focus on these three, but you can
they're more umbrella terms.
Yeah, you can add things that doesn't impede these three things. Doesn't, like if you develop addiction of scrolling your phone or video games, then these three things might be compromised. You won't find the mate that you want. You won't be able to execute your purpose. But you can add other hobbies, add other interests that doesn't have any harm on these three things. And sometimes it can be quite useful, like learning an instrument, or maybe just some people actually like playing certain like single player games to just like a small little escape. But it's very finite. It's like it ends somewhere. So they know that this time is for them to explore this another world, to have more references, to expand their creativity whatsoever.
It really is about, if you have to, this whole like essential few thing, right? It is about accepting that you cannot do everything. You can get anything you want, but you cannot get everything that you want, like sort of thing. So it is, if I have to sacrifice anything in my life, I will not sacrifice my essential three. Yeah, I will. Everything else, the trivial many, I'll cut it out.
Yep.
I will prioritize it over everything else.
Yeah. Like if playing the guitar doesn't have a negative impact on your relationship, your health, or your work, then you can do it. But if for like scrolling TikTok, it definitely impacts your health. It impacts your perception on life also. It makes the three vital few less desirable to pursue. So cut those out. Yeah. I guess that this seems like a good place to finish this like little. I think there's quite a synergy in the topics we discussed in this episode. Yeah. This is a good place to end.
Okay.
Any concluding ideas for how our audience can use this episode to serve them? Right.
Try to identify what your essential few are, what is truly important to you. And then, with the problems that you have now in your life, write them out, write out the problem first of all, and then try to find points where you can apply Pareto's principle, the 80-20 rule.
And one way to identify a problem is like have the mindset that having problems is not necessarily a bad thing. And the bigger the problem means you have a bigger challenge, means if you face them, you're just getting more competent. You're just being better. And we all want that, as we have addressed. So this is a good place, and I think there's a good way to round everything off. So see you guys, I guess, in the next week's episode.
See you.